Hey guys, welcome back to the Own Your Identity podcast. Today, we're diving into something we all crave but often struggle to find: certainty. Certainty is not about having all the answers, it's about anchoring yourself in what's true, even when life feels like a storm. Today, we'll explore it together. My name is Jason Mellard. I am a certified high performance coach and the founder of Own Your Identity. I'm committed to empowering men to live beyond their unwanted same sex attractions and into their purpose through the power of Christ and for the glory of God. Let me take you back to a moment in my life where I felt completely lost. I wanted desperately for something solid to hold on to. My older sister and I were in a motel pool. I was about 7. We had paused for the night in the middle of a family road trip that was not going well, and it was dark, except for the glow of the pool lights. The night was quiet, except for the angry voice of my dad threatening divorce to my mom as they sat in the deck chairs. I hung on to the edge of the pool with my chin just out of the water and the top of my head just below the rim of the pool. My body stayed afloat as my heart sunk. As I listened to what was surely the end of our family as I knew it, I stared at the plastic flap of the overflow scupper in front of me. I let myself be mesmerized by it while my mind and heart got lost in the darkness of the night. I knew that after it was pushed in by the water, it would be pushed out again on repeat, and I was certain of it. Maybe that seems funny. It was this little scene in my mind that I remember so clearly, that rectangular hole in the side of the pool. And I was just staring at it, listening to this craziness of my parents and wondering what life was going to be like. And I wanted something I could be certain about. In that moment, it was just that little flap moving in and out. Certainty is what I wanted. I craved it so much. As I grew, I was on the lookout for how I could experience it. Did I have value? I was certain if I smiled at the older ladies at church, they would say I was a good boy. Could I be accepted? Did people want to be around me? I was certain if I was attractive enough, they would. I always had my hair done just right, had the best clothes. That would make up for my lack of personality. Would I always feel alone in life? I was certain that being intimate with a guy would put that question to bed. So maybe you've been there too. Maybe you grew up in a home where certainty just wasn't a thing. Perhaps your dad was absent or your mom was unpredictable. Maybe school was not a safe place and home wasn't either. And in that chaos, perhaps you turned to something: porn, an unhealthy relationship, or even just isolation, to feel a sense of control, a sense of certainty. I get it. In my life, I just wanted to feel safe. I wanted to believe that I was valuable just as I was. I wanted to know who I was. On another quiet night, in the midst of uncertainty, I walked alone on my college campus. I was drowning in questions. Who am I? What's wrong with me? Why can't I figure life out? What am I supposed to do with these attractions? With the depression and anxiety that handicapped me? It was like I was trapped in this endless loop of wondering and waiting. Wondering and waiting. Waiting for someone to tell me I was enough. Waiting for life to get easier. Waiting for the answers to magically appear. But they didn't. And the more I wondered and waited, the more lost I felt. But God, who alone could provide the certainty I craved, was distant, disinterested, and disappointed. I was on my own, so I kept striving. But what I've learned is certainty is not something to strive for. It's something to welcome, to be open to receive, and to allow God to provide. It's something we all crave. It is good and powerful, but it takes a decision to believe that God works all things for good, a decision to trust what he says about you, about himself, and about your future. Certainty is not about having all the answers or being confident all the time. It's about anchoring ourselves in the truth, even when the storm is raging. I want to experience the certainty that Christ alone can provide, and that is a worthwhile endeavor. And I want you to experience this certainty as well. It's necessary. It's powerful. So let's talk about what certainty is and what it's not. It's not about knowing every step of the way. It's not about being fearless or having it all figured out. Certainty is about clarity. It's about letting God tell you who you are and owning it. It's about gaining clarity on what you stand for and what you're moving toward, even when the path ahead is foggy. Certainty is a lighthouse that keeps you steady when the waves are crashing. Ask God for it. Pray, Lord, welcome the certainty that only you can provide. I believe. Help my unbelief. For believers in Christ, this kind of certainty is rooted in a relationship with God who created all things and holds all things together. He doesn't promise us certainty in every circumstance, but he does promise us certainty in his love, his goodness, and his plans for us. And when we anchor ourselves in that, we can face the chaos of life with a confidence that isn't shaken by what's happening around us. And the beautiful thing is, certainty can coexist with vulnerability, fear, and confusion. You can be scared and still be certain. You can feel unsure and still trust that the best is yet to come. It's not about eliminating doubt. It's choosing faith in the midst of it. When you know that God is for you, that he's working all things together for your good, that he's already gone ahead of you, how can you not feel a sense of certainty? And it doesn't mean life is easy, but it means that you're never going to face it alone. And that kind of certainty, it's unshakable. Gosh, I've wanted that all my life, and only God provides it. I'm so grateful for it. Now, let's talk about why this matters. Why is certainty so powerful? First, certainty keeps us going when we feel lost. It whispers, keep moving, you're going to make it. It's the fuel that keeps us pressing forward, even in the thick of fog of doubt and confusion. Second, certainty attracts people to us. There's something magnetic about a person who knows who they are and what they stand for. I've said it before, that's the thing I was most attracted to in other guys, that confident sense of purpose, somebody who knew who they were. People are drawn to that kind of groundedness, and it builds trust. It inspires others to believe in themselves too. Think about the people you admire most. Aren't they the ones that exude a quiet confidence, a sense of purpose? As someone who is certain, men will want you to lead, and women will want to lean on you. Third, certainty fuels action. When you're clear about your purpose and values, you're more decisive. You stop second-guessing yourself and start moving forward with confidence. And that creates momentum, not just for you, but for the people around you. Certainty is contagious. And when you step boldly into your calling, you give others permission to do the same. And finally, certainty brings peace. When you are certain about who you are, what you stand for, you stop chasing external validation. You're free to live authentically, and that freedom is life-changing. Imagine waking up each day knowing that you don't have to prove yourself to anyone, that you are already enough in Christ. That's the kind of peace that certainty brings. So how do we cultivate this kind of certainty in our lives? Here are a few practical steps. 1, create a certainty journal. Write down 3 things you know to be true about yourself, your faith, or your future every morning. This practice helps you focus on what's solid and unchanging, even when life feels chaotic. 2, revisit your wins. Reflect on moments in your past where you overcame uncertainty or fear. What did you learn about yourself? How did God show up for you? Doing this builds confidence and reminds you that you faced challenges before and you can do it again. 3, reframe your past. Look at your story through the lens of growth. Your past is not a prison, it's a platform. It's the fuel that propels you forward. What lessons has it taught you? How has your past shaped your strength and resilience? 4, certainty in action. Take one bold step this week in an area where you've been wondering and waiting. Whether it's having a hard conversation, pursuing a dream, or setting a boundary, action creates momentum, and momentum builds certainty. 5, surround yourself with certainty. Be intentional about the people you allow into your life. Spend time with those who inspire you, challenge you, and remind you of who you are. Certainty is contagious, and the right community can amplify your confidence and clarity. So imagine waking up each day knowing that no matter what happens, you are loved, you are enough in Christ, and the best is yet to come. Imagine living with a confidence that's not shaken by circumstances, a peace that's not dependent on outcomes, and a hope that fuels you forward. That's the power of certainty, and it's available to you right now. So here's my challenge to you. Stop fighting for certainty and start welcoming it. Open your heart to what God says about you and your future. Choose to believe that you are loved, you have great worth and value, and your story is far from over. Because when you do, you'll find that the safety, the value, the identity you've been searching for, it's already yours. And please believe this. You are not defined by your confusion or the chaos of life. You are defined by the one who calls you his. Be certain of it. You've got this, and God's got you. I'll talk with you soon.